What exactly happened here is unclear. Police speculate based on the amount of heroin and money found on the scene. This may be the result of a brewing mob war.
Mob war my ass! Brenner! I don't know where the son of a bitch is. Let's hope he's not alive.
From the looks of that mess, I'd say he was dead.
I think he's right.
Don't think, pray. If he's still alive, you're not.
Oh, shit.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. It's 2023 here at Citizen Frame. Well, also at other places around the world. It's 2023. I hope you guys had a good holiday and a good New Year. Like we mentioned in the last podcast, we have peppered in a little treat. And that little treat has Arnold Schwarzenegger linked with it. We always like to have a little fun. We always like to have that safe bet of a podcast, and that's usually Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about an underrated film, I personally think, and a film that kind of was right in the transition period of his career taking off. And that film is 86's Raw Deal. Nobody gives him a raw deal. Now, this is directed by John Irvin. Now, the cool thing about this, and I actually thought about this, we had first-time director John Milius, who did Conan. And then we had second sophomore outing, but his real first-time directing would have been Terminator, James Cameron. Then we had Mark Lester, who did more Stephen King stuff, who did Commando. Nothing against John Milius, nothing against, obviously, James Cameron, because he'll have a very good career with Arnold. And nothing against Mark Lester. I like Mark Lester's stuff. But John Irvin was more of the established actor-director, where he would really work with actors to get the performances he wanted. Now, I know we all kind of giggle because I'm talking Raw Deal. But keep in mind, this guy directed Hamburger Hill, one of the most darkest and depressing Vietnam movies ever told. Yeah. And a stellar horror film written by Pete Straub called Ghost Story, with Fred Astaire and John Houseman, all these, huge Douglas Fairbanks, all these actors who've already been established well beyond their prime. Does that make any sense? Well beyond their prime? I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, good. And one of the things that Arnold said about it was it wasn't a big hit for him, obviously. More people know about it. But he did say that. He said, John Irvin taught me more how to act. And now we laugh because it's Arnold, but I have always back up, Arnold can act. He just because he's not doing fucking Shakespeare in the Park doesn't make him not a good actor.
I would pay money to see Arnie do Shakespeare, to do Hamlet.
Well, he kind of does it in Last Action Hero.
That's right, yes. Mm-hmm.
But as he got older and the big muscle-bound action was dried up, he had to do more dramatic. We talked about Aftermath and a couple other films he's done that are quite darker and drab.
More serious.
Yes. And so he does. He says, with this film, it did teach me a lot more about acting. Because in Conan, he barely spoke. And when he did, it wasn't him, I don't think, practically. Well, it was, but... And he was still, English was, he was still learning it quite a bit.
In Hercules in New York, he's completely dubbed.
Yeah, and then, exactly. And then he peppered in a couple small roles here and there. But he just learned a lot more. And that's what he takes away from Raw Deal. And he also says the first time he actually got to wear normal clothes.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
He's in a suit most of the time, which he thought was... you really see his size when he's in a fucking, one of those suits. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason he did Raw Deal was because Arnie was hot property and Dino De Laurentiis signed him to a multi-picture deal. And he wanted out of that because he has offers coming up, which is The Running Man, Predator, movies that pretty much catapulted him to box office gold.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because I do like Dino De Laurentiis stuff. I mean, he did the Death Wish film, 3 Days of the Condor, Conan, as we know.
I grew up with a lot of other films, so yeah.
Yeah, he did Halloween 2 and 3. He owns all the Manhunter films besides Silence of the Lambs. So
Yes.
he's Army of Darkness, Halloween 2 and 3. The guy has worked with David Lynch. He's worked with David Cronenberg. You should be a happy guy for that.
Oh yeah, no, I like the Dino De Laurentiis films. Yeah,
Blue Velvet was his
Produced, yeah.
big one, and Dead Zone for Cronenberg. But I think that's why the only reason Arnold wanted out.
I think he's just looking to spread his wings and didn't want to be sort of tied in just to one sort of producer.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, it could be a series of different things. But he said, you do raw deal, I'll give you a good deal. Get it?
And nobody gives him actually, they did give him a few good deals. Cameron did, anyway.
But there's pretty much the story of our boy. And so, let's just start right off. What I like about this film, you got this in the 80s. It's pretty violent.
Yeah.
And we get the classic, and I miss them so much. And it's a simple little thing I like in my action films. And that's a little thing called the squib. I miss my real squibs with people exploding as they get shot with bullets.
Yeah.
Not paint that we get now. It's this whole opening sequence when the witness protection program is trying to protect somebody. They don't do a very good job of it.
Yes.
Because they get their ass handed to them. And we find out FBI agent, and I love to see him, Kojak the Night Stalker himself,
Darren
McGavin, as he finds out his kid was killed. Dun, 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 dun. And there's only one man he can get.
Arnold.
That's right. We cut to the introduction of Arnie. He's chasing a guy on a motorcycle. It's a cool scene, actually.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's cheesy as hell, and it's pure 80s cheese. You know, it's basically, it's like sort of, it's almost like lifted directly from the A-Team, you know?
But it's perfect, but I think it's more A grade. I get it. A grade from the A-Team.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's big budget A-Team, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But, we're just coming off Commando. This is a step up from Commando. That's my review on it. I mean, sorry guys. I know we all love our Commando, but this one has massive competency behind the lens. Where Commando, we have some issues with that one, but still love it. So he's a disgraced FBI agent, right? And he had to either suck it up or go to trial, or he had to pretty much shut up and take a rinky-dink job in the small town.
He was fucked over by this DA.
Yeah, that's Baker.
Yeah. Who we'll find out more about later on.
Yeah. Well, Baker's a good guy.
No,
I got confused because there's Baxter and Baker.
No, I'm talking about Baxter, then the one who's sleazy as fuck.
That's Baxter.
Baxter then. Yes.
Yeah, Baxter's the one who's fucked him.
Yes.
So that's why he gets his comeuppance. It's a good ending too.
Yeah.
So his wife's not happy, and she throws a cake at him. He's like, "You should never drink and eat and bake."
Yeah. Yeah, it was classic sort of Arnie deadpan sort of humor. Don't drink and bake.
The funny thing is, besides that part, his one-liners here don't really work, and mainly in Arnie films they do. But because this is kind of a darker role for him, a little edgier, I know it's not much. The comic timing does it. Like, the one-liners don't really work as much.
Well, just as you mentioned that, what was going through my head? I mean, I remember this from years ago.
You say fucking Doctor Who, I'm going to.
No, I'm not going to say Doctor Who. What I'm going to say is this is basically, because it was released around the same time. This is basically Arnie's Cobra, but it's better than Cobra, a lot better than Cobra.
No.
In a certain respect.
Oh, yeah, I can see. Oh, I don't. No.
It's a lot better than Cobra, and Arnie is much better than Stallone is. Arnie is much better here than Stallone is in Cobra, but.
You know what's funny? You say that? Now, Schwarzenegger could do both these roles, Cobra and this one.
Yeah.
But Stallone, we thought he was the weak point of Cobra.
Yes.
But he would pull this off.
Yeah.
Because there's not many one-liners. It's not that kind of film.
Yes.
So Stallone could have done well in this role.
Stallone, this is more a role that Stallone would be suited to.
Yeah.
Whereas Arnie could actually do both.
Because he's Arnie. So his purpose is, Shannon asks him, can you go in, infiltrate? He wants him to infiltrate was it Petrovita?
Yeah, the mafia, basically.
The mafia guy. And so in order for him to do that, he decides to start fucking with his operations. Like casino operations and destroying the power plant as you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But the power plant scene was sort of to fake his own death as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I missed that part.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's Arnie and he can just like blow the shit out of fucking power plants.
Yes.
Yeah. What if there was night shift workers or security guards? What about them? They were fucking titty bread. Dead. Use I don't know if you get that slang. It's Belfast slang. I know you're from Belfast, but
no, I wouldn't know that one. But yeah, so he's named the character he's playing is Kaminsky, but now he is Brannigan. What's his name again?
Yeah, it's Brannigan. Or sorry, Brennan. Is it Brennan?
Brennan.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just call him Arnold.
Yeah, Arnie. Yeah, in every single Arnie film, no matter who he is playing, to me, he's more Arnold than the character he's playing, and he always will be. And I mean that in a complimentary way.
All right, so when he's he goes to the casino, puts bulldozers through it, just beats the fuck out of these guys. Is he doing that to start a riff with Lemansky?
I think he's like, he says that he's like testing them or something, and because don't forget he's trying to get in there with this gang who are also at war with another gang of organized criminals. But
that's my point. That's my point.
Yes,
is Roca his right hand man, and then he got Petrovieta, whatever. What is it, Oh my God,
Robert Davi.
So we've got him and Roca and Max. Max is Robert Davi, who I like to see. All right, those three. And then you've got Lemansky, who is another mob guy. So
the ones who they're at war with.
Yes. So is Brenner, Arnie, is he going after... Is he attack? He's right now... I can't believe that.
He's trying... At this point...
No, right now he's destroying... He's hitting Petrovi's stuff so he could blame Lemansky, or is he hitting Lemansky stuff so he can get in good...
I thought that he was basically trying to attract their attention because he was trying to get in there and, basically be one of their main henchmen.
Okay. All right. Well...
It was just really to attract their attention. Remember the scene where he's like... Fucking, they basically jump him in the entry, but he like kicks her shit in because he's Arnie. And the cop, then sort of questions him, who doesn't know who he is at this point, doesn't know he's, a cop as well,
All right,
Can I say as well, the casino scenes are basically this is also, aside from being Arnie's, on top of being Arnie's Cobra, this is also Arnie's, in a certain respect, James Bond film.
Yeah, you really reach it sometimes with these. You really do. I mean, dude, he's not a spy, really. I mean, he's
well, more True Lies. I think
you really, let's move on.
It is a bit of a leap, but just those casino scenes.
Real leap.
Those casino scenes just reminded me of 80s James Bond, which I love, with Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, yes, I'll give you that. But I'll tell you what, they're far and few between to really compare to anything, because it's like they're in there for like a half a second, and the best casino part is the ending when he goes in there and blows everyone away.
Yeah.
All right, so they decided he convinces to get hired, and Robert Davi, Max Keller, he's got to keep an eye on him. Max doesn't like him because Monique has a thing for Arnie, and Max likes Monique, but Monique tells him, "Go fuck yourself."
Max is right.
Oh, Max is right. You don't just bring a guy on board.
Yeah.
But
he's proved right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he at the end of the day, yes, Max is right.
Can I just say as well, for an Arnie film, it's quite a complex plot.
That's why I'm trying to ask you questions you're not giving me answers to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm trying my best.
No, you're not. All I get from you is, hey, why is he attacking the casino, and is that Lemansky? And you just give me, this reminds me of James Bond.
No, I answered that. I said that my opinion was that he was trying to attract the attention of Sam Wanamaker.
No, you're not. It's important to know what casino he's hitting. Is he hitting, we'll say Sam Wanamaker, he's the head boss. Is he getting his, is it his casino he hit? And he's there to go, I will stop this from happening. Because they don't know he hit that, right?
It is vague, but I got the impression that he was hitting Sam Wanamaker's casino because he wanted to attract their attention, because at this point he wasn't in their mob yet. And
yes, but you don't hit somebody's money run and then I want a job with you.
No, but yes, that was because he's a renegade. He doesn't play by the rules, man. He's Arnie.
That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. You don't hit.
It sort of does, but
I think he did hit it, and it is. We'll say Sam Wanamaker because I'm not saying Patrick Villata all the time. And Sam Wanamaker, he hit his casino, but they don't know he's the one who hit the casino.
Yeah, well,
right?
Yeah, okay.
And then
it is quite a vague sort of.
And then he goes in and
complex plot.
And then he goes in and goes, "You need my help?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, someone hit a casino." He's like, "I'll be back." And then he does this thing. Isn't that why? I'm fucking okay. Forget it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is a bit of. I mean, it's not very well laid out, if you know what I mean. It's an almost convoluted sort of story, or sorry, not convoluted, but more sort of too sort of elaborate. I think they went a bit too far with the sort of. They were trying to make some sort of like proper complex thriller, and ultimately, what people were looking, myself included, was an Arnie action flick.
I don't think I wasn't at this point in time. You really weren't. I mean, yeah, you had Commando, but I think people are still. The verdict was still out. You know, but I think he hit it, so they would hire him for more protection.
That's what I just said.
No, because that you said, "Oh, I like James Bond."
yeah, that as well. You know.
No, okay, let's move on. We're all right. This is the point where people have already shut us off. So, Monique has been hired by Max to kind of spy on him a bit because they become friends, and she's to make because she owes a lot of debt because she's a shitty gambler. Mm-hmm. I do like the fact that Arnie has his morals.
Yes,
and he won't cheat or sleep on his wife, on his wife. So,
yeah,
I do like the fact that they kept that straight. Because usually in these action films, you'll be like, "I love you, baby," and then they'll be hitting yum yum time and shit, and there'll be a fucking really bad saxophone playing in the background while they're making love in the fucking shower for 20 minutes.
To be fair, there are some bad saxophones playing in the background in certain scenes. You know, what about the scene where Arnie is pretending to be asleep? And he comes out of the door and he's like snoring, but he's like, you know, awake snoring, you know.
Harry. So Lemansky's men. Lemansky is the other bad rebel guy.
Yes.
I like to know him as the head DA. I believe he was the head DA for Law and Order for years. But those guys who jumped him originally in the alley, these guys are back. They see him. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Shopping.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and they have there's a big fight there. After
he's bought the lady her dress.
Yeah, this kind of piggybacks a little bit on what you said, where they're trying to play a good thriller, but at the same time, when you start doing stupid scenes like this, the whole fight scene, this is where you get Commando-ish.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make it like a 50-50 split. And it's still entertaining, but you're taking away from the serious tone the film kind of, because especially with Darren McGavin and his son. I thought they could have played a little more darker tone on that.
Yeah.
So that big drug bust happened where they take all the drugs. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember that? They take away Sam Wanamaker's drugs.
Yes.
But they want the drugs back. So they decide to plant a bomb or a bomb scare and then clear out the police department to get the drugs back, technically.
And Arnie gives him the idea to do that.
Yeah, he does that because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt.
Yeah, and it's Robert Davi, because Robert Davi doesn't like Arnie, and he's quite right. Robert Davi is actually
he's the smartest of the group.
One.
He's the smartest one of the group. He is right. Yes. So they plant that small one in the pop machine with a Duracell battery. I thought I was laughing. I was like, "Well, that's a real big bomb," but they weren't there to hurt anybody. They were just here to.
It was basically a squib.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny. Duracell battery on a fucking Diet Coke bottle can. Whatever it was.
That's right. Mr. Fizzy Drink.
I love when Max is hitting on Monique. And Robert Davi, I like him, but he's not a good-looking man. But God, he plays a great villain. Like Die Hard, License to Kill. He was awesome. He was awesome in License to Kill.
Yeah, Goonies as well.
Goonies, that's right. So, he's definitely got the street cred. So he's hitting on Monique, and he goes, "The only way you'll lie next to me if we get run over by the same car."
That's right. Yeah,
it was awesome. She had the best. If an Arnie film, she had the best line.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
She's actually probably, aside from Sam Wanamaker, she's probably the best actor in it.
Well, yeah, she's established.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been around for a while now.
Davy, of course, is good as well,
Well, I think they're all decent. Ed Lauder is good as
definitely.
Baker. And then you got, the name is escaping me, who plays Baxter. He always plays a good, smarmy little bastard.
Yes.
I thought the cast was pretty, well grounded, well fit. I thought they're pretty good. I like the Lemansky car chase scene. It was so stupid.
Yes.
They could have done better than this, but yeah. What are you going to do? So Lemansky's dead now. Mm-hmm. I love during the chase scene when Arnie is shooting, the car actually has a plate on it that says bullet resistant.
Yeah.
How many cars do you own? Make sure I got my bullet resistant plates on.
Well, I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, it's a police car, isn't it?
No.
No?
It was a limo, wasn't it? Or something?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah. It's it's quite a confused plot, this, and there's, in sort of many ways, which I don't think is intentional. I get that they were trying to make an elaborate sort of thriller, and not just your standard Arnie fare, but, It does go a bit off the rails at times.
Because Lemansky, in the beginning of the film, Wanamaker and Lemansky are talking.
Yes.
They're in the same boat. And he says, "We're done, you're fired." Mm-hmm. So why is he fired? That's what I didn't understand. Who was he? Were they working together, or...
Which one was this?
When in the beginning of the film.
Yes.
Where Lemansky ends up killing... He tries to kill the whole gang.
Yes.
Max and Sam Wanamaker. But he kills his right-hand man. Hence why Arnie takes over. Because he needed to replace the right-hand man.
Yeah.
Lemansky did that.
Why
did he fire Lemansky?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying he fired Lemansky, because I think his part of his job was to run that casinos. And Schwarzenegger destroyed those casinos, and that's why he fired Lemansky, because he needed him out.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe. Or was Lemansky not possibly in with the rival gang of mobsters? I don't know.
I don't know.
There is a lot of sort of... They're not plot holes, but they're just things that could have been... And I'm not, again, I mean, I'm the sort of dead against, the sort of dumbing down of anything. But at the times, there's too much vagueness in this.
Well, we find out, like, the whole Baxter thing. I didn't realize Baxter was the guy who cheated him. I'm sure I missed just the one line.
That's a good twist. But
yeah, but Baxter is the one who fucked him in the first place. And he's the one who now tells him, he finds out, hey, that's Harry... Harry tells him that Harry Shannon, the cop who lost the kid, tells Baxter that Arnie's in there infiltrating, because he didn't realize Baxter is the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And now the hit is on Arnie.
Yes.
And now it's time to kick some ass.
Yes.
So Max tells Arnie, all right, we have to go to a funeral, and you're going to shoot somebody at the funeral. And this time, Arnie doesn't know what's going on, but he's going with it. I'd like to know if he would actually have shot that guy if it wasn't Harry.
Well, this is it. Your man says it's a cop. You don't need to know his name, or words to that effect. Davy says it's a cop. You don't need to know his name. Just basically run with it. And Arnie's basically going along with it up until he realizes it's Harry.
Yeah. I think he was just stunned that it was Harry, but I think he would have turned the gun in the other guys anyway. Mm-hmm. I think he knew they found out who he was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is where Max gets it, and the other henchman number 1 gets it.
Yes.
And Harry takes quite a few bullets himself. Poor bastard. His son gets killed, and he gets riddled.
Yes.
Right in front of his son's grave.
But he ends up all right in the end, so it's all right.
Yeah, I know.
Compared to what some of the other poor bastards got.
Fuck them. They're bad guys. Yeah, so this is where, the shit hits the fan. And, of course, Monique shows up. How convenient. She's like, why the fuck just read over Monique? Monique seems to be
in Arnie's car.
Yeah. And this is where it becomes Commando.
Yes.
So you get the montage. He puts the leather out on the guns out on the bed.
Sticks the hair back.
Yeah, we got dun, 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 music. No more suits.
Saxophone music.
Yeah, yeah. He's putting on the gear. We got the dress sequence that we all look for when we're watching an Arnie film.
Yep.
And now it's time to kick some ass. Yep. Now we get to when he gets to the mill and he decides he's going to destroy everything in the mill.
Yep.
What the fuck is with I can't get no satisfaction?
Yeah, it really was out of place.
That was out of place. Made no sense to me. The rest of it's fine. I'll go with it. But him driving around and shooting guys while the car's moving and his hands shaking, come on. And he's playing.
It's also the only pop song that appears in it, so it's not like, you know the way Tarantino would use pop songs, like sort of stylistically. This just randomly pops up, and it's supposed to be a cool, and but it doesn't work. Yeah,
it doesn't work. I'd rather him just slowly go in there and infiltrate and take them out one by one.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Stealth mode, Arnie.
Terminator.
Yeah, we didn't need this. I thought it was kind of sweet. I do like the body that falls into the rock grinder.
Yes. Oh, fuck that. Yeah. That's actually, I felt that myself. It was like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, and it happened so quick. You couldn't tell if it was a mannequin or not.
It's really well done, actually.
Yeah. Pretty cool. It was a fun enough scene, but I didn't expect it in this kind of film.
Yes.
If you wanted to do something more grounded. And the fact John Irvin's directing it. Thought it would be a little more subtle. And why I know we are Arnie, but why can't these fuckers take one bullet or two when they're driving like this? Now he does take one later, but
car. Later you notice that there's a shot where you see the car is completely riddled with bullets. Arnie's car.
Yeah,
but not one of them hit him, of course.
Yeah, he should take it a couple hits.
Yeah, I mean he's a big guy, so he couldn't be that hard to fucking miss.
Like when
after
he takes all these fuckers out, he heads to the office, and this is where the bloodbath happens. And it would have been nicer if he walked in fucking drenched in blood. Mm-hmm. Like he's hurt now. Yeah. That would have been better than...
It would have grounded it a bit more.
Yes, and he's barely hailing it on. And then he sees Baxter or something, and that just said, fuck you, now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But we do get to see our good old Arnie buddy get it.
Yes.
Did you see him?
Who's that? Oh, sorry, the guy with the beard.
Yeah, Sven Ole Thornton.
Yes, he's basically in all of those films, and he always plays like the sort of henchman who gets an ass popped in his or a cap popped in his ass.
Is Arnie's best friend, so he's in all of them.
Right. Yeah,
he's in every Arnie film.
Right, yeah.
Kind of like Clint Howard. Ron Howard always has Clint Howard in his films.
His brother, yeah.
Yeah. This is gorge galore. Bullets flying everywhere. I enjoy it. And again, he gets one bullet. He should have been. He should have give me some shrapnel. Give me something here, Arnie. You could do it. Take one for the team. He's like, I can't.
And why is it? These bad guys are such terrible shots. I mean, it's a small room. And Arnie's a big guy.
Yeah, I know. But I do like when he blows the fuck out of Roca. He just fucking blows with a shotgun. And then you got he obviously, and I like how he gets Pochvita, Sam Wanamaker. He shoots him right in the back.
That's right. Yeah,
love it.
But the best one, of course, is saved to the end with Baxter.
Yes, I like the fact when he gives him the gun. And he goes, let's go, let's get out of here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to use the gun on him, and he turns around and boom. I think he was going to do it anyway. I think he gave him the gun just for Prince purposes.
Yes, well, it means it's sort of, he didn't want to kill him sort of unarmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a case of, I want this bastard to fucking turn the gun on me, so actually I have good reason to shoot him dead.
So, like all good Arnie films, he saves the damsel in distress. He gives her money to fly away.
Yep.
As she's probably going to gamble it anyway.
Yeah, no.
And then he's going to marry his wife. He's back on the force. And him and Amy will get married and live their life. And I think she's pregnant, actually. I think
she is. She's having a baby.
Now she's pregnant, and she's no longer baking and drinking. And then, as we see Harry Shannon trying to rehab from his multiple gunshot wounds at the age of 90.
He can't walk.
And he's trying to walk. He falls into Arnie's arms as they laugh. And credits roll.
Yeah. Cheesy 80s nonsense, but enjoyable cheesy 80s nonsense at the same time.
I love Raw Deal. I think it's underrated. I think it's one of his better films. I
actually don't, but at the same time it does have its merits, and it has its good points and bad points, and it's, as I say, it's basically Arnie's Cobra but much better.
Yeah, it's not at all related to Cobra. It has not even close to a similar story as Cobra. But hey, you think it's James Bond as well, so there you go. Guys, listen, it's well shot, good actors in it, good veteran actors in it.
Very
like
strong
I said,
cast.
John Irvin likes to pepper in good veteran actors in his films, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. It's Arnie's better performance to date before he, got better. I liked it. I thought the ending got a little too commando. I think they could have played it more straight. I thought stealth mode Arnie would have been better when he went to the mill, like I mentioned. He's got to take it out and maybe take a couple bullets. That would be more realistic. Then he's got to go into the nightclub, whatever it was, and then he's got to take the final one wounded. That would have been cooler.
He definitely needed to be wounded to land it a more gritty, sort of realistic sort of aspect, which a lot of was already, but he's basically the Terminator at the end. I
almost feel like John Irvin was going where we wanted to go with it, but then Dino De Laurentiis saw the dailies and said, nope, we need Commando. People want Commando. People want the Terminator. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with this, and they gave it to us. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I always talk about two genre films. We got cool drama, thriller, Arnie, and then we got holy shit, what the fuck is going on, Arnie? Yeah. So, and we've also got, don't forget, family-orientated sort of comedic Arnie, Jingle All the Way and whatnot. Oh, Jesus. No, family moments were very few, and thank God. Also completely absurd Arnie, with like Hercules in New York. No, I never went that bad. Yeah. All right, guys, listen. We give this one as a little, as we take our little break, so we just wanted to pepper in something for you. Arnie's always a good way to do that. We'll be back. We've got a busy February, March, April, May, June, July coming up. Like I mentioned, the Mission Impossible retrospective, Scream's coming out. Yay! Indiana Jones retrospective. I don't know what else we're going to do, but like I always say, give us a shout if you want us to maybe get something on the podcast for you. You can do that by reaching out at CitizenFrame_podcast and on Facebook and on email if you want to keep it more, quiet so people don't see your message, which would be on citizenframe@outlook.com. And I don't know why I changed down to a whisper tone there. Yeah, why the fuck did I do that? That was so weird. It was mildly sinister. It was like, if you want to email me in private. Oh, God, it does. It's like a perv. Wow, I do. Oh, fuck, I don't care. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll chat soon.